Welcome subjects, this is Mir Laboratories and we're playing Kerbal Space Program. I'm going to repeat mission and perfect timing just as we start launching. Miss Bacon starts to message me. And I'm going to do a repeat mission to Minimus to grab a bit more science so we can get more science modules. I don't want to go into planetary until I know I'm going to soak up everything I can from the planet. So, repeat mission away. Just skipping ahead here to my circularized burn. You've seen this ship launch before already. I just added a few more engines so it would have more fuel later on. So as you can see here, just burning to circularize my orbit. The plan is hopefully to land in more than just one place and get science from multiple places than just one area. So hopefully I'll have more science when I come back, is the overall goal, of course. Now, I've been wondering about the videos I've been making, and I'm thinking this whole post-production thing takes a long time because obviously I don't work on Kerbal Space Program constantly like a lot of YouTubers, always editing their videos and such. I may go back to commenting in-game and just cutting out the parts that I don't like, but I'm waiting for my new microphone to come through before I do that, because this microphone, let's admit, is not that good. Just burning out to Minimus now, as you can see. So yeah, I'm going to go back to talking in game and, well, commenting in game, and I'm just gonna, that will make editing a bit quicker for me. I might be able to then keep to my schedule a bit easier. I've also been thinking about turning this into a season 1 until I finish the career mode, and then season 2 going more into my creations and everything that I've made in Kerbal Space Program, because I've made some pretty interesting things. I'm looking forward to actually finishing one, but I need to do some delta V calculations before I finish it, and once I've done the delta V calculations I want to record the whole mission and so on, because it's taken a lot of work to get a lot of it set up so I know it'll work when it gets there, because obviously there's no point sending something out to another planet if you haven't tested it to make sure it's all going to work. Alright, as you can see, I'm just adjusting how I'm going to arrive at Minimus, and then bringing that periapsis, bringing the periapsis down so I'm nice and close to Minimus's surface and won't be falling from high heights, because if you fall from high heights you'll pick up more speed and you'll have to burn more off when you're coming for the landing. So let's get a lovely view from the cockpit again. Do love that cockpit. A lovely view of Kerbin drifting away into the background as we head out to Minimus. Now, arriving at Minimus, obviously, it depends on the relative perspective. If you're looking at it from Kerbin's perspective, Minimus is actually zipping past us and we have to speed up so Minimus will catch us in its orbit. But if you're looking from Minimus's perspective, we are zipping past Minimus and we are slowing down so Minimus will catch us. So yeah, relative sciencey-wincy stuff. So yeah, we circularize our orbit and I start looking for somewhere to land, like, where do I want to land? I choose somewhere, fast forward round until that gets to the daytime and underneath our orbit. Takes a small amount of time and then I burn. So you see, I've already selected where I want to land and got there quite quick and efficiently. Quite proud of that. So coming in over the ice lake, which is right next to some like high cliffy areas, which is the reason why I chose this area. Only a small hop over to the next area to do science. See all my wiggling around, just again making sure I'm coming directly down towards where I want to come down towards. Do a bit of time warping, little bits of burns here and there to make sure everything's set up, and a spin to see if I can make Jebediah sick. So yeah, slowly falling down. Takes a while on Minimus to land because it's got low gravity, very low gravity, so it takes forever to fall. There's the shadow. We're burning to make sure it's a nice soft touchdown. And a boop. There we go, touchdown. So right arm science, go. That's where I'm doing all my science from the right hand side for this first landing. Shouldn't have bothered with the pressureometer, I think it is, or something like that. Shouldn't have bothered with it on Minimus. No pressure, no atmosphere. So get Jebediah out, do his EVA and sample stuff, and plant a flag. Jebediah has claimed another area. And he's also taking a selfie. And away he goes, back into his command pod, starts taking off, and does science, so he gets flying over that particular area science as well. And he goes, he says he wants to go towards the pointy bits over there. Jebediah wants to go towards those pointy areas. So we flew over to the pointy areas. Just going to angle it so I land down about where I want to land down now. So just coming up towards this one large mound, nice and gentle. And as we start coming down, I start choosing a flatter area to land on. So obviously I don't want to be landing down at an angle, it's always awkward. And we end up all the way over here, because I fast forward. Yeah, just some skillful burns, flipping around, lovely backflips and stuff on Minimus. There you go, backflip. And just doing a bit of science as we're passing over the area, and I start bringing it down. I wanted to try and get it right on the edge, but then I thought too much effort, so I'd bring it down here, spin it around so it's orientated so the sun's on the front and you can see the ship. Again, do science, pressurometer, waste of time again, and we get Jebediah out. He does his surface sample in EVA, he does a big hop, plants his flag, and states the fact that he spells backwards, because both those flags have been backward spelling while facing towards the sun. But yeah, we quickly pop in the capsule to drop off our science, then get back out to start picking up science, because we have got those on decouplers so that they're not going to be coming back with us. And you see, I'm having a bit of trouble actually getting the science out of the modules. Just doesn't want to work for me. So I've actually come up with a plan. In the future, I am going to put small ladders about the place so Jebediah can just grab onto them and hold onto the edge while grabbing science, and he goes for a roll in the dirt or whatever Minimus's floor is made from. Goes for a quick roll, comes back, tries to get that thermometer, throws himself on the floor again, back into the cockpit. It says we're going to lose science, but I actually go through it all here. It's all there, not a single bit's been lost, so I don't know what it was going on about. So we keep it all, and we want to transmit the crew report so we can do more crew reports. So I have to go through it all again because I didn't think about it first time. And there it is, transmitted away, and then we do another crew report and transmit it again. Luckily we have time warp, so it transmits in no time. And then we burn up. Realise we're burning the wrong way, so we burn the other way. Bring our periapsis down for a lovely return, and this is the return mission pretty much complete. Just got to come back to Kerbal now, and I just keep doing crew reports as we're on our way back, so we're getting more and more science, but we don't really collect any from those crew reports. Waste of time. Never mind. Come back into Kerbal's atmosphere again. Dark side problems. I apologise for these dark side problems, but I don't really plan my returns or anything. There we go, on fire. You can see it now. Get rid of those. Burn away from them so we don't collide with them. Do more science. Pop out the chutes so we start slowing down. If you look in the background, you can actually see some white dots, which is the two parts that we got rid of. But yeah, just got to drift down to the surface. It's lovely and dark, but I try to use the background of the Milky Way so you can see the ship as it's coming down. And bang, we blow up the engine, and I've got to try and stop it from rolling so I can actually recover it. But I managed to in the end. Now science, we have a quick look at our science modules, and we buy obviously what we went out to get the science for. More science equipment, and so some larger pieces to launch larger objects, obviously. And we get the avionics, unlocking some more some more fairings. And yeah, that's our science done, and now we need to do even more science. So next mission, away! So I have calculated all the delta V for this mission ahead of time. As you can see, it's a very efficient rocket launch. I'm using just the amount of fuel I need and nothing more. Nothing less, of course, because less would mean the mission would go bad. But I've sped up the footage quite a lot. As you can tell, we're doing our gravity turn already, which means we're getting up quite high. And I just wanted to show this because I'm quite proud that I managed to do the delta V calculations quite correct for the launch as well. Moving on forward, I realised that after a bit of maneuver node playing around that I've launched at the perfect time to just keep on burning to go retrograde of Kerbin, so we're slowing down our speed and being able to pull ourselves into the inner planets for this mission. I leave the fairings on the outer edge, which we will show now. We decouple the launch stage, leaving just the interplanetary stage. We open up the solar panels, and I leave the fairings on, just role-playing that it's protecting the equipment inside from solar radiation and whatever else could cause problems, maybe tiny micro-asteroids and such. Make sure it doesn't damage any of the equipment. So later on, much further around the sun, I get to my descending node and I start burning to the south, quickly realizing that my mistake. I spin round to the norm. So anti-norm, I start burning to the anti-norm, I spin round to the norm and start burning, which sets our inclination. Yep, set my inclination to the same as my target, so I can come in and get a good intercept a lot easier. Anyway, once I've got that, I managed to get to NAN, not a number. Once I've got that further around the sun again, we start doing after correcting our solar panels again. I have to keep making sure the solar panels can see the sun. I start making the burn for the intercept, so we can intercept with the planet. It's pretty much just like meeting up with something in orbit. You have to set your inclination and everything, and then get the intercept point with the planet. It's pretty much the exact same thing. As you can see, I got my intercept with Eve. I just start playing around with it, doing light touches on the throttle. Kerbal Space Program has a problem now and again when intercepting with planets. It'll decide, oh, you are going to intercept. No, you're not going to intercept. So I have a bit of a problem. Time warp ahead. Here comes Eve, and here comes me, closer and closer. And then I start playing again with my intercept. I want to get so when I come in, I want to get the periapsis so it's low, because obviously it'll take a lot of delta V to do changing if I don't have the periapsis low when I first come in. I want to get it across the equator because I'm not planning to choose a specific landing site. I don't care where I land because I don't believe Eve has different biomes. I believe the only places that have different biomes is Kerbin, the Mun, and Minimus, and that's it. With all the other planets, it doesn't really matter where you land. Fast forwarding time once more. Here I come into Eve, slowing myself down to get my orbit, or speeding myself up, depending on relative perspective. And I start thinking, that's the big chunk of land that I want to land on. So I just got to keep burning, I guess, until I start coming down into the Eve's atmosphere, and then I can land there. If I'd known, I would have got my periapsis down low enough anyway. But we run out of fuel on the interplanetary stage, and it's time to show off the probe that I have launched. You can see it looks like a tiny little egg, and it's running off completely off RCS because I don't have the smaller fuel and the smaller engine segments which I need. So I thought, RCS, it's only tiny, RCS will be enough, and as you can see it is working. I am bringing down that apoapsis. The periapsis is moving over to the other side, and now I'm bringing down my periapsis, and I will be entering the atmosphere soon enough. But yes, all completely off RCS, my tiny little egg probe, will use that to decide where it's going to land, basically. And there you go. It's down within the atmosphere. I just want to make sure it's going to definitely land on land, and now it's definitely going to land on the land, because that's what the probe's designed for, not designed for a water landing. And then I keep on burning purely because I don't want to land in the mountainous region. Once the RCS is all completely gone, I point the camera. I'm pretending that linear port is a camera, and I decide to do a bit of science in orbit. There you go, just transmitting some data back, because this thing isn't coming back. It's going to land and it's going to stay there. But I do a bit of data and whatnot. Put away my solar panels because obviously they rip off as we re-enter, and I start looking around, fast forwarding and positioning for the entry. Obviously, me and my cinematic print screens or screenshots I have to get the correct angle and get a few screenshots while the burn's going on as we're entering the atmosphere. And you can see we're entering quite fast. That's a very big flame, and I'm glad that I don't have, what is it, realistic re-entry, whatever it is. And there you go. I quickly try to grab the aerodynamic effects there, whatever they are. I keep forgetting what they're called, but I miss it unfortunately with the screenshot. And the parachute is deployed, and down go my legs. I do a few Atmo readings, and while flying over Eve, I get a few more screenshots and grab all the data I can while I'm falling. When I'm on the floor, I can transmit that data, then do more science on the floor and transmit that data as well. So you see it's just coming down nice and slow. Well, not nice and slow because I've got fast forward on the video as you're watching it back, but it is coming down nice and slow, which is why I've sped up the footage. Now, my chute has deployed, coming down slowly again. Just doing a bit of time warp because I start getting impatient, and obviously start doing some more of my science because I forgot to do it while I was falling in the higher atmosphere. And then I slow down my footage so you can see the nice slow touchdown, because Eve has a really thick atmosphere, so I really didn't need any more than one parachute. I wanted to try and get the smaller parachute on there, but it would have looked weird. Well, there's a lovely view as our solar panels open. I've got the camera looking over some nice landscape there, and I'm sure the Kerbals back at home can use that for some interesting scientific data. And anyway, yeah, we start transmitting, and this is going to take a while because we do not have enough electricity to transmit it all, and our solar panels do not get enough electricity in. So we do all the transmitting.